right. Hey y'all, thank y'all for coming back to my channel. Thank you for watching this video. We're here talking about Venus aspects to Pluto. It's Scorpio season, so I'm sure we all feel this deep, dark, subconscious energy that's asking us to penetrate the secrets of life. That's Plutonian energy, right? Venus aspecting Pluto. Pluto is going to be the planet that transforms. That's all about irreversible change, renewal, regeneration. Pluto rules over death and rebirth. It's all about intensity, psychoanalysis. Pluto rules over the subconscious mind. Pluto describes how we purge ourselves, how we rise up from the depths. It represents the Phoenix energy, how we undergo transformation to experience evolution. What is Venus? Venus is the planet of love, money, charm, beauty, pleasure. Venus rules over aesthetics, art, value, comfort, relatedness, partnership, business relationships, all one-to-one relationships. Your platonic relationships, your romantic relationships, relationships you may have with the animals in your life. Venus rules over harmony, balance, luxury, comforts, values. What do we value in this life? Our possessions, magnetisms, how we're able to attract things towards us. That's all Venus energy. It answers the question how we relate to others and how we experience pleasure. All right, sis, you might have to move. I got my handy dandy notebook as always. And we're about to get right into it. Venus aspecting Pluto. So I have Venus in Aquarius. I have Pluto in Sagittarius. So they're making a sextile in my chart. I am way too familiar with this aspect. I also have Venus in my 8th house. So I understand what it's like to have Venus aspecting Pluto in your natal chart. It's something I wanted to say. I feel like this video can relate to people who may experience this aspect in synastry as well. Just when I was writing all the notes, I'm like, I'm damn near giving a synastry reading right now. When we're talking about the harmonious aspects of Venus aspecting Pluto, that's the conjunction, the sextile, and the trine. Here is an individual with intense magnetism and attraction. This is somebody who is extremely powerful. Once they walk into a room, you automatically notice them. Their sexual energy is extremely high, even if this is something they don't necessarily wear on themselves. This is something you kind of like, this person walks into a room and you're just like, they're sexy. You start having these thoughts and these feelings. It doesn't have to get too lustful, but they start to evoke the sexual energy within you and within others. They're extremely magnetic, have a very strong aura. They're insanely beautiful. Venus aspecting Pluto in the natal chart denotes an individual who sees relationships as a vehicle for transformation. They might find themselves in karmic relationships, and this is to anybody who has Venus aspecting Pluto in your chart. You're probably going to find yourself in karmic relationships, past life kind of relationships, those soul level, twin flame, familiar feelings. That's that till death do us apart kind of love. There's a show I'm watching right now called Preacher, and if anybody knows the show and you know Tulip O'Hare and Jesse Custer, their relationship is 100% Venus aspecting Pluto, and something that they often say to each other is till the world ends. That's Venus aspecting Pluto. This is how this person loves till the world ends. Who knows how it's going to end? It may be catastrophic. The sun may come and blow us up, but till the world ends, we'll have each other's heart, right? Venus aspecting Pluto denotes an individual who enters in relationships that bring extreme amounts of wealth and perhaps even inheritances. So this may be somebody who has this in their natal chart, could have just got like a really nice inheritance from a dad, granddad, mom, grandma, or something like that. Or maybe they're looking forward to one in the future. They very much love luxury. They love creature comforts, and they can spend a lot of money to live comfortably. Pluto always gives an all or nothing type of energy. So with Venus aspecting Pluto, I started to think about an individual who may have necessarily started off life with not having a lot. Maybe they were poor. Maybe they just didn't have a lot, you know, to start off with. But once they got older and they came into massive amounts of wealth, because Pluto rules extremes, now this person is all about luxury. They have to have everything high end. It's that all or nothing kind of energy. This is somebody who's very into perfumes, oils, soft items, like very soft, plushy robes, $200,000 robes. They can have the sheets with hundreds and hundreds of thread counts, the Egyptian cotton, all that. That's Venus aspecting Pluto. That's the kind of luxury they look for. Another thing I wrote here was luxury technology. I know an individual who had a massage chair in their home. That's some Venus aspecting Pluto type of shit, or like very strong Venus placements. That woman, she had, I think her moon was in the second house. So that's definitely, you know, moon in the second house. Second house is the house of resources. If you know astrology, you know. So she had that massage chair in her house. That's the kind of luxury she likes to give herself. Something I also wrote here was that Venus aspecting Pluto, if we're talking about the more harmonious aspects, the conjunction, sextile, and trine, you might find somebody who makes money through oil, gas, or things that are underground. Somebody who makes money through diamonds, jewels, things of that nature. On the dissonant end, or the disharmonious end, we have the square and the opposition. So here you might find strippers, scammers. Not to say that there's anything wrong with this profession, but this is just how the energy starts to express itself when we see the square and the opposition. Square denotes tension, and the opposition is a push and pull kind of energy. So with Venus and Pluto, you have the planet of love, of harmony and balance, and then you have a planet that deals with extreme change, that deals with the cathartic nature of things. So it's trying to deal with this tension. The square is trying to learn how to become somebody who is more harmonious, though they're having to deal with these deep, deep, dark parts of life, right? The opposition is, how do I balance my need for harmony and my need for love with the dark parts of life, with the need to shed my ego, with the need to transform parts of myself that are undesirable, right? So again, if we're talking about making money, right? What I wrote here was somebody with Venus square Pluto, or Venus opposition to Pluto. These might be your strippers. These might be your scammers. These might be your money launderers. The people who, your criminals. This is giving me like Scarface type of energy. These people are willing to go to the underworld to experience luxury. They're willing to go to some of those dark places in life that nobody else is willing to go to so that they can make their money. It's definitely giving Young Miami of the City Girls. It's definitely giving Young Miami. Yeah, they want to go, they'll do whatever so that they experience luxury. They're willing to face the dark sides of life so that they can live an extremely wealthy lifestyle. This cat is like all over me, y'all, and I try not to even let her in here right now. Bro, chill for a second. I got you, sis. Venus square in opposition to Pluto. This is a person, if you have this aspect in your natal chart, you may deal with manipulation in relationships. Remember, relationships, or Venus rules over all one-to-one relationships. So it's not just romantic. This could be business relationships. This could be familial relationships. You might deal with manipulation in your relationships. This may be someone who is outright evil, right? Or deals with other people who are outright evil, people who are manipulative, people who are vindictive. They need things to work in their favor, and they're literally willing to go to hell to make things work in their favor when it comes to relationships. They're controlling. Abuse is extremely common in these dynamics. That could be sexual abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse. Abuse is extremely common in these dynamics. Again, when we're talking about business, these people use dark tactics to make money. It's definitely giving Diddy. It's definitely giving Young Miami, the strippers, the scammers, the robbers, the jewel thieves, the money launderers. You're going to find them with Venus with hard aspects to Pluto, right? This can even be somebody who deals with voodoo and black magic when it comes to relationships, whether that be business relationships or romantic relationships. Be careful if your partner has Venus square Pluto and they're already, you know, kind of exhibiting some of these dark, dissonant characteristic traits. This person may be the type to put a love spell on you. You want to be careful of that, you know? You want to be careful. This could be a couple, right? If we're talking about synastry, or we're talking about what this person is attracted to, and let's be real, I have Venus sextile in my Pluto, but I've definitely fallen under this category. This is somebody who is attracted to, like, this is the couple that does heavy drugs together. This is the couple that drinks heavily together. This is the couple that's getting locked up together. You know, they're getting arrested together. There's issues of domestic violence going on here. Again, it's that till death do us apart, or literally like we might kill each other, or we're going to go to the grave. They might like try to kill or seriously harm one another in a relationship, whether that be mentally, physically, emotionally. You got to be very careful with this aspect. This is somebody who deals with negative karmic cycles in terms of relationships. Liars, cheaters, people who are keeping secrets, lots of dishonesty. When you're dealing with power dynamics in relationship as far as intimidation and psychological manipulation like gaslighting, you might want to check your partner's chart. You might want to check your own chart and see where Venus or how Venus is aspecting Pluto in your chart. Something I wrote here was that the experiences that typically tend to bring this out would be the women in your family, in your relationships, in the places that you work. You're usually going to find this dynamic between women in your life if you have this aspect in your chart, because Venus rules over women. So check your aunties, your sisters, check your mama, you know what I'm saying? If you get into a relationship with a woman, regardless of your sexual orientation or your gender, make sure that you're truly vetting this person. No matter where you fall on this spectrum, harmonious aspects, dissonant aspects, we got the conjunction, the sextile, the trine, the square, the opposition. No matter where you're at on this spectrum, if you are born with Venus and Pluto making any type of contact in your natal chart, you are here to understand and transcend a lot of the negative karmic cycles that you've been experiencing in your relationships. Again, that may be familial, that may be romantic, that may be business relationships. Venus and Pluto needs to focus on using relationships as a vehicle for transformation, a tool to uncover and understand your subconscious mind. Use this relationship, use this aspect to heal psychological wounds and to discover your own hidden power. I hope you guys were touched by this video and you learned something. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. Feel free to check the link in the description. If you want to learn astrology for yourself, I'm offering some very detailed PDF guides at a very low price. Feel free to check those out. Let me know what you think. All right, sis, say bye.